Everybody can hear me and see me as well.
Yes.
You'll see this slides also.
Yes.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, we'll start the class now. Start with the prayer first. Close. Let me see. Okay, nice. Okay, close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from the Guru, God, and all your goddesses, gods. If you are done, slowly open your eyes. Okay, today we are going to see the Mercury only. Before we didn't change the date. Okay, once again. Okay, before we start our class, let's start with the Gocharam first. Yearly planets, Rahu in the Meena Rasi, Ketu in the Kanya, Guru in the Rishabha, Mangal in the Kadaka Rasi, Surya, Chandra, Buddhan in the Vrakshika Rasi. And this is a special, we will discuss that later. Chukra in the Dhanu, Shani in the Kumbha. So this is about the Gocharam. So one interesting point today was Chandra and the Surya in the same Rashi, that is in the Vrakshika. Obviously, it is today is Amavasya, and that was a new moon day. And this was the best day for your, if you're starting your meditation or if you are starting to manifest anything, this is the best day for it. And particularly when the people's going for a temple, Amavasya and Paurnami, the energy level is really, really too good. And particularly when the Chandra and the Surya in the same Rashi, and you will benefit the both of the grahas energy. This is the best day for meditation. Especially, it's the best day for meditation. When you are doing the Hatha Yoga practice, the most of the teachers will tell you don't do practice in the Amos and the Paurnami, because when you do the physical exercise on that particular day, it will strain your muscles, it will strain your nerves as well. So that 2 particular days, there was a different practice altogether, different set of practices we have to do on that particular day. It's a total different story. I don't want to get into that. So one simple line here is best day for meditation. Okay, let's getting into the Panjam. Obviously, today's day is the Amavasya, followed by the Pratipada, and Yoga is Shukarma, followed by Dhriti, and Nakshatra Anurada, followed by Jeshta, Karna Nagava, Timstukna, and Bhavakarna. Weekday is the Ravivara, Paksha is the Krishna Paksha. Okay, now this is your stating done. Let's stay for 2.5 minutes. Your time starts now. Read as much as you can. Suppose in case you finish the 12 houses, repeat the cycle again. Okay, then. That's awesome.
Valita,
Hmm.
shall I suggest something if you don't mind?
Yeah, please.
Madam, what happened? What happened? Usually, no, what we
Hmm.
really does when there is class is there. In my opinion, my
Hmm.
feeling, and we get prepared. We keep. What I do, Vanita,
Hmm.
I keep Kalpur chart ready in a separate paper. The rest of the thing important, I keep ready in the by the side and sit.
Hmm.
So in this, I think my colleague participants are there with you, but they are more sharp and they are all these things are in their fingertips. So what
Hmm.
I suggest is, this, you can skip you being this chart. Is it not? If everybody agrees, if my opinion,
Hmm.
why since this become, and also what I observed in 2.5 minutes, it's difficult to memorize all these things. So my suggestion is we can skip if others there were no objection.
But I will tell you one thing. See,
Hmm.
why I ask you to state this, there I had some kind of the hidden intention. One is
Oh,
one first thing is one when you are going for a 1 to 12 houses, most of
hmm.
the time, if you see the thing again and again, it
Oh,
will
it
enter
get
into your mind unknowingly.
uh,
So that's
ah,
one thing. And another thing, whenever you see the horoscope, you don't need kind of any kind of a reference. That's why I ask you to see
okay,
your
okay,
horoscope only, not others.
oh,
First, see
okay,
your horoscope, understand is that matching with you. When you
okay,
see your horoscope for the lagna, for the second house, for the third house, you can able to relate that or not. So, for example, for the lagna, I mean, first house is the lagna, it represents you.
yeah,
Second house is your family. Check your family, what the graha which is in it, the rashi which is in it, and how many grahas in it, and you compare against with your family, how it was related with me. Third house is your younger siblings. Younger siblings,
okay,
your communication, whatever you your short journey and art and communication, everything is included in the third house. But
yeah,
in your Jatagam, the third house graha and the aspect of the graha, how it was related. Don't compare with anybody, compare it with yourself. Is that exactly matching or not? Then the
mhm.
fourth house. So why I ask you to stare at this? The staring is not going to for too long. I will stop at one point in time because we have so many
Okay,
things to
okay,
revise. So
okay,
why I ask you to remember all the time? One point in time it will come with handy.
okay.
It may
Thank you,
not
thank
help you. It may not help you right away.
you.
And
Yeah.
as your suggestion, until you feel like you're familiar, you keep this copy
Oh, oh,
next to
okay,
you.
okay.
So
Well,
you
thank you so much. Thank you
whenever
so much. Nice.
whenever you want to have the comparing your horoscope, keep it next to you. It's
Okay,
totally fine. But
okay,
why have that kind of a practice? So that it becomes a handy one point in time. It may not become in the next day. Definitely, it will comes in when you practice again and again. And one point in time, you will tell one that it's boring for me. I know everything in this slide. You will tell that point. That day will come.
okay.
So don't.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Nice of you. It is just I felt it, I told you.
No, whenever I put the slide, I definitely have an intention behind it. Okay, don't
Okay,
worry.
thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's come into the random revision. So today's we are going to see the 12 houses relevant with the relationship. So now I considered for this slide, I taken an example as the Mesha as the Lagna. So you compare against your horoscope with whatever your Lagna is. Suppose you may have the Tula Lagna, somebody will have the Mesha Lagna, somebody will have the Kadaka Lagna. So according to your Lagna, you have to see this. Okay. Now for this example, I took the Mesha Lagna. So for this, consider this is the horoscope for a person who's having the Mesha Lagna. So first house represents the self, exactly the Jataka. Second house represents your family. Third house represents your younger sibling, your cousins. Okay, here the interesting thing. The friends comes in three houses. Friends in third house also, seventh house also, 11th house also. So what is the difference here? The third house friends will be like short duration friends. They may be friend with you for a journey. They may be friend with you for 2 days, 3 days, or maybe a few hours. There was a short term friendship. When it comes into seventh house, it's a kind of a friends. It won't go that much thick and thin. But when it comes into 11th house, they are very close friends. You may have a long-term relationship with them, and it was the relationship will grow like a thick and thin. That kind of the friendship will go with the 11th house. Now, the third house also represents your younger siblings and your cousins. Now, fourth house, obviously mother. Fifth house, your children. Sixth house, your enemy. Okay. Seventh house, your spouse. I always have this kind of a comparison for myself whenever I study. Seventh house, the spouse. So I remember when we had this kind of a session, one time I told you every bhava, the previous bhava is the distracting of the next bhava. For example, Lagna is your first house. 12th house will distract your first house. So, first house is your birth. That means the Jataka was born. 12th house is the death. That is, he's at the end of the moksha, the liberation, that point, the 12th house. So it's like that. The first house, whichever the house, the previous house is distracting the next house. So, for example, now, the 7th house spouse, okay? The 6th house is your enemy. So, whichever whatever you're having a group understanding with others, or you're working together, or you are living with somebody, your spouse or life partners, your business partners, there should be some kind of the group understanding should be there, right? There should be the mutual understanding will come. That's in the 7th house. But the 6th house will represent you alone. It won't it won't accept anybody's suggestion. The understanding is from the self only. So that's from the 6th house. What it will do, it will destroy the next house. Every previous house destroy the next house. Okay. I just want to give you an example. If you didn't understand this point,
So Vinita, which is the house I was?
see, this is the 6th house, right? 7th house is the your spouse, life partners, business partners. Okay. So when you are working with a group of the peoples, what is the main thing, main ingredient you have in that point? You have the mutual understanding. You have the coordination. You would think like a group, right? But when it comes into the sixth only for the aloneness. That's it. The Jataka only wants to think alone. You don't want to be cooperate with anybody. That comes in the 6th house. So that kind of the mental emotion, that kind of an understanding comes from the 6th house. So that's why I told you the previous house destroy the next house. It becomes in every way. Not only the 6th and the 7th, it comes from the 12th house destroy the first house destroy the second house. It goes like this one.
Vanita, can you explain this with reference to fourth and fifth house then?
Fourth and fifth house, there was one interesting thing. We saw about only the prime significance of that, right? For example, here the fourth house is the mother and fifth house is the children. Here,
Yeah.
if it comes as within relationship, the mother's possessiveness may mislead the child. That was one point. When we are comparing against the one characteristic of that house. But when you're going to compare against the fourth house, there are the other different things. Your happiness, your happiness is the fourth house. Whatever your happiness, the children may, because of that happiness, the children may get affected. When the children was here, your aloneness will get affected. It was like one next to another, one next to another. In a simple way, how you can remember, the previous house destroy the next house. It's a kind of the cycle. I use a very hard word that like a destroy, a distract. It's not in the case. Whatever the significance which is told in the next house, it will be fully vanished from the previous house.
So you mean to say the previous house of any house nullifies the benefits of,
Yes.
traits of this particular house?
Next house. So the previous house has the highest benefit, highest power, you can say. So that will nullifies the next house power. So it will goes like that only. It's a nature. It's not like it's not like a rule as well. It's a kind of an understanding. When you are studying, when you are deeping into the study, you will understand that okay, this house destroyed this house destroyed this one. It goes like that. It's a nature. It's because whenever I use this word, I really worried about that. I don't want. I try to avoid not to use a destroy and distract. It's not like that. It's a kind of a nature. The flow will be like that only. The one house overpowers the other, and that nullifies that significance. It's nature. But now, when I say about the fourth and the fifth house, it's not only one significance. See, when I compare with the sixth and seventh house, the example goes very smoothly. But when the fourth house, the mother is not only the significance of the fourth house. There are the different n number of the characteristic for the fourth house. That characteristics overpowers the fifth house characteristics. See, the fifth house is also for your Kuladevam. How I can say in English, I don't know. It's also from your ancestral properties, ancestral blessings, you can say. So that is comes in the fifth house. Whatever you're having in the fourth house, there's number of the characteristics that overpowers the fifth one.
Anita, is this irrespective of the planets in the previous house? Is that what it is?
Irrespective, no, we can't use that word. I will tell you that. See, that is the ground basic understanding of that. Previous house overpowers the next house. Then you have to check. Then you have to check about the grahas present in it.
Okay, say if as an example, if there is Guru in the fourth house, that is Kataka, and fifth house is for children, and Guru is a Putra Karaka. So how would you explain that? Because according to you, it should destroy the Putra Karakas.
No, that's what I told you. That's what I told you. The fourth house, as we, for the better understanding, this is the main slide for representing the relationship with the Bhavas. That's what's the basic intention for this slide. So when we say that the fourth house, when I say the fourth house overpowers the fifth house, means it's not only that Putra Karaka. There are the different things. For example, let's go with your flow only. The Guru present in the Kadakarasi, fifth house is the Putra Sthanam. So then various things we have to see. Let's go into simplify all the stuff. Fourth house mainly represents your happiness. So whatever the happiness, that overpowers the children. What if you say that was the Putra Karaka, the ancestral blessing, whatever which is comes in the fifth house, that overpowers that. Whatever which is in the fourth house, that definitely destroy. Even if you didn't believe that also, check your Jatakam. Your first house destroyed by the 12th house, second house destroyed by the first house. In the yearly, when you see this Jataka with this kind of the mindset, definitely you won't accept, because I didn't accept that when I hear this very first time. When I see when don't see anybody's horoscope, see your horoscope only. How the 12th house affecting your first house, how the second house affecting your third house, because this concept is really, for me, hard to explain, because once you say the one characteristics affecting then another overpowers than another, you won't believe, you can't believe that in few seconds, and I am not able to compromise also for convince you for in a few seconds also. But try and see your horoscope. If still you have a doubt, we will discuss that again. Because for this one particular concept, I didn't accept for very long time. One point in time, I really compromised.
Vanita, one bit. What happened? Now let us consider fourth house. Fourth house is character, mother, peace, happiness, education, everything is there. Now we are telling only for the one you have picked up. Only happiness you have picked up in this topic. So different characters are there now.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. There are the different characters, the different significance. That's why I'm telling you that for a number of the characteristic significance, whatever it is, that's you don't need to take every other thing. Okay, whatever is just prominent in your life, you pick that one and see if that is affecting with the fifth house or not. Okay. See, for example, you studied very well. You may not studied very well. Then see about the education related houses only, Buddha Graha and your Lagna. Whichever, if you see the horoscope without any questions, without any prominent intention, you definitely jump into a seat. I would say like that. So have a question and see the horoscope in such a way, then your path will be narrowed down and you will look only into the Bhavas wherever you need it, and your questions will be drilled down.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Vinita, second house is wealth, no? Or is it family, or both?
Yeah, that's it. This slide is particularly only for representing relationship and against your Bhavas. Okay. Every Bhava will have a different characteristics. You are not my voice is hitting.
No, but second house is family. Family is like a husband, wife, child, or parents, or what?
Family, your family, right? Okay. Your family means it's your husband, wife, your grandparent, grandmothers, your father, mother, father-in-law, mother-in-law, whoever comes, you consider as the, wait a second.
There is
You-
some
whoever you-
noise.
Yeah, whoever you consider as the closed family, immediate family, that considered is your family. Close
And
knitted.
one more thing, Vinita. Friends, you said which houses? 3, 7, 11.
3, 7, and 11. But there is a difference. Whenever
Yeah. I heard.
whenever okay, it's coming into this. This slide is only for the relationship with the Bhava. That is, I want to revise you only. I don't want to burden about this slide. This is only for the revision. Quick understanding. So when I want to say which house is for my younger sibling, then you have just go and see the third house. Which house is for my enemy? Go and see the sixth house. Seventh house is for your spouse, business partners, and friends. Eighth house is again the self. Okay, this point will come again later in the session when you are coming for a revision, because the eighth house is a little bit different from others. Ninth house is your guru father. 10th house is any people who is in your authority, like immediate supervisor, your boss, your master. When you are learning any kind of the martial arts, all kind of your, whoever you, somebody was bossing you, everybody comes under the 10th house. 11th house is your elder brothers, your friends. Here, the 11th house friendly you have to see, because how close your friends are, how the friendship was is the long term. You can understand from the 11th house. The 12th house is interestingly, it's a secret enemies. Okay. So this is about this simple understanding about the relationship. So is still, this is the only relationship in the Bhavas? No. Still there we have to add many more things into this. But this is for the primary relationship, considered as a primary relationship. We will adding more and more relationship into this same slide in the previous in the next classes. But at this point, this is the primary relationship with against your Bhavas. Okay. Any
So
questions?
these are the what are the traits of the house, but it does change based on the grahas present there. Either it gets intensified or decreased.
No. Wait a second. There is a misunderstanding. See, consider this is my Mesha Lagna. Okay.
Oh.
Here I have the Surya. Okay. I am writing Tamil. Here I have a sun. So here what it was representing, the first house is the Jataka. So it's representing me and how I am going to look. Then the Surya will represent me. I look like very authority person, and I have a very good ego and good administrative skills. Very authoritative person. Like that comes representation of the sun. It's exactly reflecting me. That the Jataka. Reflecting me means Jataka. Now considered you have the there was no graha in considered a situation. You have no graha in the second house. Then what you have to see? Who's the owner of this house? Venus. It's considered Venus in your 10th house. So when there was no graha, what you have to see? You have to see wherever the graha is in it. Is the graha is in the friend's house or not? So you have to consider all that kind of stuff. Now, when you see the graha in considered a situation, now you have the moon, and along with any grahas. Okay, let's have the moon. Okay, when you have the moon in the third house. So when the moon in the third house means the third house represents your younger sibling, your cousins, and the friends. So the graha which is in that moon house that represents that, that's how significance. You should not take away from that. See, whenever there was a graha present in the Rashi, first priority goes to the graha only, not even to the owner, goes to the graha. You have to first consider the graha, then consider the owner, whoever the owner is. Here the Mercury is the owner. Consider the Mercury was also in the same location. So you have to consider the owner, whichever the graha present in it, that goes the first priority. So there was also one saying, wherever the graha plays, it does its work, no matter what. Wherever, even if it is a friend's house, neutral house, or enemy house, even in a hidden location, it doesn't matter, it does its job. So you have to consider the graha present in it, then the characteristics of that particular house, then you have to see owner of the houses. Is that okay?
Okay. Combination of two things, but priority is for the planet, graha.
Yeah, first goes with the planet. Whichever the Rasi it was setting, see that Now this situation like this, right? The second house didn't have any grahas. Then go to the owner. Who were the owner of this Haraji? Venus. Then go to the Venus, where the Venus was sitting. What is the aspect the Venus was getting? So you considered all other things, then find a solution. So from this Jataka, when you understand about your younger sibling, move to the third house. So when the third house was in a good auspicious condition, we considered this is the moon along with the Mercury, and definitely your younger sibling will be look beautiful and they are good knowledgeable. And you have the very short-term friends; they are good knowledgeable person. Consider the situation: you have a guru here in the 11th location. You have a highest chance of having a long-term friendship, and you also having a wise in elder brothers. So that's why when you are going against the significance of that particular house, know about the graha which is posited in it, then know about the Rashi and whichever who's the owner of the Rashi aspects, then combined together. It's a layering of whenever I say understand about that particular Rashi means there are the number of layers present in it, right? You have to see the graha, owner, and aspect, and whether it is the debilitated exalted, and how it was Bhatakasthana, Marnakarakasthana, you have to understand every other stuff. That's why it have to be going in your mind in a fraction of a second. Then you will have an reading about that particular house very quickly. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's getting into the sorry. Okay, let's getting into the Mercury. Let's getting into the today's class. Okay. Mercury, other name, no, Sanskrit name is the Buddha. In representation of the intellect, speech, trade, and commerce, and particularly any kind of the banking related, finance related, your education, your friends, your love affairs, everything, business particularly comes under the Mercury. Okay. There are the few more characteristic about Mercury you have to understand. First thing is the people who born on the Mithuna Lagna, Kanni Lagna, they have the business mind in the subconscious level or in the conscious level itself. Particularly the people who born on the Kanni Lagna, they have the business mind as an inbuilt functionality of them. And within Lagna, they are very humorous in nature. Mostly the Mercury people, Mercury Lagna people, so very humorous in nature. The business thought process is there inbuilt in their manufacturing. I would say whenever the soul was coming out of the body, I'm sorry, not coming out of coming into this planet, it emerged with the tendency of the business related thought process, and particularly the Kanni Lagna, they have this kind of things running in their mind all the time. If you go and ask them, some other Lagna peoples will think in a different way, but these peoples will always think in a business terms only. And one more characteristic about the Mercury is it goes when a two-time action, when whatever they want to do. If the Mercury was in a good position, if you want to do one any auspicious thing also, you have to do it twice. Suppose in case if you are going to do going for a study, you have to do the same thing again. Some people, you go and ask them, they will say, I did my primary education. I started my second standard. I ended up the second standard in one school, and again I started in that different school from the first standard. So they are going to study the same education again. There is some possibility this Mercury peoples will try to do the same thing 2 times at least, but particularly 2 times. Okay. That's about the Mercury. Let's learn about the quick thing about the Mercury. Okay, why this color combination here? See, the people's that among the 12 Rashis, Mercury owns the Mithuna and the Kanya, and its friends are the Rishabha, Tula, and the Simha. And every other Rashi is except the Kadaka. Every other Rashi is Meena, Mecha, Kumbha, Makara, Dhanu, Vrakshika, or neutral to it for the Mercury. there is only one enemy to the Mercury is the Karka. So who's the owner? Moon is the owner. So here you have to have a clear understanding. Moon Moon is enemy to the Mercury. So it exalts at the Kanya Rashi, and that is an earth element, female in nature, in the body parts of the waist area. Exaltation point is 15 degree, and debilitation point is the Meena Rashi, that is a water element, feet. But the Meena Rashi is a neutral to the neutral to the Mercury, because this is the Guru is the owner. Debilitation point is again 15 degree. So Mula Trikona Kanya Rashi again 15 degree to 20 degree. Gender is the male or the female. It's a like combination you have to see. Aspect is only one aspect 7. Direction north, the directional strength east, malefic or benefic, it's both. Depends upon which graha it was associated with it. Adi Devata Vishnu, Pratyadi Devata Narayana, elements Prithvi, Dosha, all three maturity age 32 years. Dhatu, skin, grains is a green gram. Maranakaraka, it's the 4th house. Combustion 0 degree to 14 degree. When it was moving forward, 0 to 12 degree comes in the retrograde. But remember, when there is a combustion, if you're talking, that means the Mercury goes very close to the sun. So most of the time, most of my teachers were saying that if the combustion you have to consider before or after 0 to 15 degree, 0 to 5 degree, it's considered as the combustion. But this is the textbooks were saying 0 degree to 14 degree in the forward motion, retrograde motion it was a 0 degree to 12 degree. This one you when you read the horoscope, understand on your own is that the true or not. At mostly, if the Buddhan degree was in the 0 to 5 degree, definitely it is the combusted. Okay. That's about when it comes into see about the Mercury in your Nadi, it plays a very, very important role in your Vishupisa chakra. Okay, let's know more about your planet, about the Mercury relationship. It's friends, we already know about it. Sun and the Venus, neutral is the Mars, Jupiter, and the Saturn. Only enemy is the Moon. And Nakshatra, Aslesha 9, 18 Jeshta, 27 Revati. Buddha's Dasha period is the 17 years. Okay, one interesting point about the Mercury is there was no Yoga Karaka for the Mithuna Lagna and the Kanya Lagna peoples. And Bhatakasthana is because the Kanni and the Mithuna is in the corner Rasis, obviously it was the Upaya Rasi. Bhatakasthana is the 7th house. For the Mithuna, it was a Dhanu. Kanya, it was the Meena. So both the lords is the Guru, lot of the obstacles is the Guru. Okay, last week we saw about the Mercury in the first house. Mercury in the first house is the good sign because it's having Digbala as well. And these peoples, mostly when the Mercury was present in the first house, it nullifies all the ill effects of any other malefic planets. Mostly these peoples are intellectual in nature. Possibly they will getting into the medical profession. Mostly they are very skilled in any kind of art and culture. They are very independent thought peoples. Mostly they are common quiet. Okay, now getting into the today's class. Mercury in the second house. Second house, we already know. The second house is represents your family, wealth, your liquid assets. Whatever the cash in your hand, the speech, your family, food, nourishment. If the second house is very good graha in it, this you will also able to know how these people's doing. They are passionate about the food. They are foodie peoples. You will understand from the second house itself. So check against your horoscope is if the graha was present in it, how my eating habit was. If there was no graha in it, so you know your nature, right? So compare against it. Whenever there was no graha present in it, you see that horoscope and understand the food habit of that person. And if the graha was present in it, understand whatever they're saying about the food. Some people will say, I am very much interested in non-veg. Some people will say, I'm interested only in a vegetarian, that too. And I'm in the vegetarian, I only favor towards the organic foods. So see how the peoples are and also Graha placed in the second house. Okay, now coming to the second house for the Mercury. So this people, Mercury in the second house, we already know what is the second house is. It's about the family, speech, liquid assets, and your nourishment food. Okay, Mercury. Anybody says about the Mercury characteristics? Whatever we understand till now. Mercury.
Intelligent.
Intelligent.
Communication skills.
Communication skill.
Business oriented.
Oh, very much business oriented.
Networking, meeting, network. They're good in establishing contacts, relationship.
Okay.
Analytical skills.
Your voice is breaking. You're saying something?
Analytical skills.
What is it?
Analytical skills.
Analytical skills. Okay, yeah. Okay. Any other thing?
Kanda.
That's awesome. More than enough. The Mercury is much
humorous, no?
You're very much humorous. Very much humorous. They're business oriented. They thought itself think in a business oriented only. Most of the time, they think that lifestyle is also think in such a way that everything comes when you drill down, come into only one point, it's the answer will be the business. So they thought their thought process is always related with the business, and they are very humorous in nature. They're very intellectual and intelligent. Their analytical skills is high. They're very good in maths as well. Okay, let's come into based on that Mercury and the second house, we combined it together and see. Okay, these people are very fierce and self-made person, highly possible. When the second your Buddha in the second house, this is very much possible. Obviously, they are scholar and learn because the Mercury gives that energy. The Mercury gives that kind of the tremendous potential to the Jataka. Be a learned person, be a scholar in whatever the department he choose, he definitely become a scholar. Okay. Enjoys all kind of luxuries, exceedingly generous, possibility is high, sweet in speech. Okay. Mostly when the Mithuna Lagna and the Kanya Lagna people, obviously they are very much humorous in speech, they are very skilled in speech. And some people you may then you will ask me, Vanita, I know Mithuna person, I know Kanya Lagna person, they are not speaking very well, they are not sweet in speech. Okay, then you have to check. This is the basic nature. When the Mithuna people is really humorous in nature. You go and check with them, Mithuna Lagna people. At least if you 10 sentences they are speaking, you will laugh for at least 5 sentences. Go and speak with the Kani Lagna people. They are speaking in an average of the 10 sentence. Their business thought process, their business view will come out in at least 5 sentences. Okay. Sweet in speech, definitely, because of the Mercury's energy. They are very much good public speaker. This tendency will come in their own. When they try to speak in the public, the flow will become. They don't need to prepare anything. Whatever because of the Mercury's energy. Okay, this is an important thing here. Why this Mercury people is only the good public speaker? The Mercury is relevant with your, I already told you this is with the Vishuddhi. When your Mercury in the second house, which is not afflicted, that means the Vishuddhi, the energy receiving from the universe was really tremendously high. When this energy was really good, and no matter whatever you think, it will come out from your mouth. And good public speaking will come on its own itself. They meet the pattern. They know how to speak. They devise a system how to speak, how to reach the other people as well. Okay. There is also another meaning of the good public speaker. So whenever there was a person speaking in front of you, the one thing you should not bold and you understand the thing, at least you get take away from that person 1 or 2 things. This can be possible with the Mercury in the second house people. Okay, love for the computer and electronic engineering. When you have the second house in Mercury, check the people's, they are definitely love towards the computers. Their engineering towards the electronic is highly possible. Anybody who's having Mercury in second house? No?
Oh, Vanita, can you show the slide before first house just for a second, please?
Okay.
Previous to this slide.
Previous, this one?
Yeah,
What
thank
is-
you. Thank you.
Okay.
I just missed one point there.
Okay. Okay, now okay, there was one more thing. Whenever I say the Mercury, okay, let's see, have an example. You have the Mithuna Lagna and the second house is in the Mercury. So what is this meaning? Lagnadipati was in the second house. Okay, when this kind of the combination, what do you think about this? Your Lagna is the Mithuna Lagna. Mithuna Lagna, Adipati is the Mercury. The Mercury is in the second house. When you see this kind of the horoscope, what you will think? Don't worry about whichever it is correct or wrong, whatever it is correct or wrong, but tell me how you will think. Lagna is the Mithuna Lagna, second house is the Mercury. So in other words, Lagnadipati was in the second house.
Though Lagnadipati is in second house, it will strengthen the Lagna Bhava, but Mercury being in enemy's house, could it mean it weakens the Lagna Bhava?
It won't kind of it will be, because the enemy house, this kind of this discomfort will come. There is also one more
No, but Mercury, Moon does not perceive Mercury as its enemy. It's only Mercury which perceives Moon as its enemy, right?
No.
Right.
Mercury perceives Moon as its enemy. So Mercury sitting in Moon's house would be uncomfortable. Moon doesn't perceive anyone as its enemy. So
Yeah.
Moon, if it sits in Mercury's house, will not feel uncomfortable.
oh wait. Okay, wait. Moon is the house. Moon won't consider anybody is an enemy, right? You're coming into the Moon's house. So now, oh, this is the quite good. Wait. Now let's consider the situation before getting into that. Now, how you will treat this one? Okay. Now, Moon in the Mercury. Moon won't consider anybody as an enemy.
Correct. This will be Mithuna Rashi.
Mithuna Rasi.
Moon
There
will
was
not
no
be comfortable because Moon doesn't consider Mercury as its enemy.
enemy. This is fine, right? When the
Right.
Moon won't consider anybody as an enemy, whichever house it was sitting in, it won't be bothered for him. Okay, now
Correct.
going to there's another situation. Now we'll have this is the Moon house. Mercury was sitting.
Correct. But Mercury perceives Moon as its enemy. So
Yeah.
Mercury will be uncomfortable because it's not its enemy's house.
Hmm.
Would that be right?
Somebody was contradicting this thought. There was an Saravanan, right?
Yeah.
How you see this one when the Mercury was in the Kadaka Rasi? Because I thought the same thing. I don't know who's speaking. MR Manjari.
Manjari.
Yeah, I thought the same way. If you have the different opinion, how it will be, I don't know.
No. I'm just open for feedbacks. So I just stated that the
Actually,
enmity
it will be
between.
fine. Mercury will be fine because enemy is not bothering Mercury. Mercury may not be comfortable, but that doesn't mean that it will be weak.
Yeah.
So
Because the enemy is not bothering Mercury.
I also in my perception, it is not an uncomfortable position for Mercury.
Correct.
So this should not hamper the
Okay.
effects of Mercury.
Okay, I will tell you my intention why I placed the Mercury in the Kadaka Rasi. Because when the Lagnadipati was in the second house means the flow of money will be really good. When the Lagnadipati was in the second house, otherwise when you have the second house and the first house connection, the money flow will be good for any of the Jataka whoever is. So that's why I thought to place this, but I didn't thought about that enemy's house concept. So my intention was this one. When you have the Lagnadipati in the second house or any connection with the second house with the Lagnadipati, the money flow will be really good.
So this is applicable for any planet, not
Any
necessarily
planet.
only. Okay.
Not necessarily with the Mercury. This is for an example I placed it, but this is okay. Let's go with the not with the Mercury now. Now why I place the Mercury, because I make it as the Mithuna Lagna. That's why I place the Mercury. So let's go with the Mesha Lagna. The Mars was present here. Okay, then when this combination was appeared, the flow of money will be good. Then there is also one more question will come. Either I have the second, the Lagnadipati was in my second house, but I didn't have a money flow. Then you have to see your chart, how it, your Lagnadipati was in a Divishuni, Lagnadipati was afflicted, your Lagna was afflicted, or what are the grahas aspecting your Lagna. So you have to see every other things, then find the conclusion. But generally, when there was general concept, whenever you see any of the horoscope, the connection between the second house and the first house, particularly the Lagnadipati was sitting in the second house, the money flow will be really good. Okay. Any questions still here? No? Okay. When let's coming into the point.
So in
which,
that case of retrograde.
okay, the retrograde is the one thing about the retrograde, right? When you see in the cosmic level, you receive an energy very much compared with the normal planets, because the energy level which you received from the Jataka will be higher because it was closer to whichever the energy you receive. And this is another way of saying is you have the deeper karma when you have the Vagragraha present in your Jataka. Deeper karma means don't carry it away with the word karma. Whenever there was the deeper karma means which you left out in your previous lifetime, you come and do it in the other lifetimes. That's it. So when there was a Vagragraha present in it, you have the deeper connection in your previous lifetime, but you have another words in a simple words you say you have the deeper karma. If the Vagragraha was present in it, anyway it was going to do, but how you're going to get the money flow will be the question mark. You maybe get the money flow with the struggle or without struggle. Or most of the time, even though the Vagragraha was present in the second house, the money flow will be good. But there should be some kind of the struggle or obstacle will be there. But it won't be that much, as per my understanding till now, when the second house and first house connection was there. But if the Vagragraha was present, we still have to see the entire horoscope.
Okay.
You know anybody who's having a second house Vagragraha?
No, I just have an example, but it's still a kid, 16-year-old kid. So money flow is, I mean, he's making money through stock markets, but at this age. So that's the reason I asked.
Definitely they will have the money flow, no matter what.
So Kanya Lagna,
Hmm.
the second house is Mercury and Moon, Mercury being retrograde. And the second house Lord is placed in 12th. So
Venus was in the 12th, which is very good.
yeah.
Very good. This guy definitely make money no matter what. Okay, why it was good when the Venus was present in 12th house, you will see when we sing about the Venus. Because Venus was present in 12th house, it was really good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's getting into the third house. Third house completely represent about your courage, your aim, how much you have a life energy to move forward in your life. See, somebody may live for 80 years, 90 years, 100 years, doesn't matter, but how much the courage they have during their lifetime. It's represented in your third house. You have an ambition. If you have an ambition, a number of the people didn't have an ambition in their life. That is also representing the third house. You have an ambition. How is it ambition you can fulfill or not? How much courage you have? What kind of art and passion you may hold or you may pursue, or you already following, or already inbuilt in your genetic, your communication, people living, working, and nearby. Mostly it's about the neighbors and your colleagues. But here, the communication in this modern world, the communication is it's a wide area. All kind of the media which you are used to communicate with others, all comes under in the third house. And nowadays, the car driving is also considered in the third house. If you are driving very well, you're passionate about in a car driving, you're interested in the car driving, or you are not interested in car driving. Everything you can learn, you can understand from the third house. If you are a good car driver, you see how your third house will be. It will be clearly representing you are a good driver or. Okay, let's see about this is about a third house. We already understand about the Mercury. Mercury is very intellectual planet, very intelligent. And importantly, you have to remember this one point. The intelligence of the Mercury is then academic oriented. The wisdom is only coming from the Guru, but it doesn't mean the Mercury's knowledge was inferior to the Guru's knowledge. But when you're understanding about the knowledge and the wisdom, it's a totally in a different dimension. So you have to see in that perspective. Mercury is an intelligent, academic oriented, knowledgeable, and he's also a playful kid. You remember that point also. This person is look young. When the Mercury was in a good position, this person won't look aged person. Very young, even though they are very aged also, they are very young. Their tone was very young. Depends upon the graha, depends upon the Rashi Mercury was present in it. The youngness will be represented for that person. The thought is also very new. They won't pursue like the Guru is very much conservative. It follows the tradition, it follows the convention, it won't be go out of the boundary. But Mercury will think about the new thoughts, like a newborn baby. When it was coming into the world, how he thinks, she or see the world. The world will be different for him, right? The new thought process will come to the Mercury. So with that kind of an understanding, when the third house was here, it's combined together, we'll see how the Mercury in the third house. Okay. Because the Mercury was knowledgeable, the knowledge flow will be tremendously high. So they have a high possibility of writing. They are very, very good writers. There are high possibility because when you have a good potential in your writing, obviously you become an author. This is for the Mercury in the third house. Media personality, actors, director, or an anchor. It's all the profession which involves the communication as the primary skill. Successful business person, why? Okay. When you want to become a good business person, the communication plays the biggest role, and additionally, you have a wonderful knowledge flow in you. And the Mercury's basic understanding itself, the gene itself, it will show about the business thought process. So all together combined, they become a very much successful business person. Okay, here is an interesting thing. Requires some others' help, definitely, because this Mercury in the third house, if someone in their family or someone if the Mercury was in the third house, means if somebody was mentoring you or you willingly pursue somebody mentorship, then this is very good for them. When the Mercury was in the third house, it needs a direction, it needs the guidance, because Mercury is the young prince, just born into the world, and it didn't know about how the world will proceed further. It needs the guidance. See, even the kid was 16 year or 20 year trying to start a business. He have any capability or she have any capability to start a business, to run a business. So the capability was different, but in the world, how he going to adapt into the world and how he run the business in the world is totally different. So that point in time, he definitely need a mentorship, even though he or she is a very intelligent person. And highly communicating. What is it? Highly communicating means when you definitely every person was speaking to one another to understand each other. That's a totally different story. But when these people are speaking, it's totally in a different level. They have the business stream in their mind, how it have to be flow. They already designed in their mind. They speak in such a way that the flow will be the stream will be flow without any obstacle. The flow will be go without any delay. That kind of the communication skill these people will have. That's why they possess the extraordinary skill in future planning. That's why I already told you, when they're trying to speak itself, when they're starting the communication itself, they understand how the stream will flow. They already planned everything. How to start, how to be processed in the middle, how to end, what kind of they plan in such a way that how the opposite person will respond. They planned everything. In other words, they orchestrate everything. Then they will proceed. It's I would say it is then inbuilt nature for them. The future planning, forethought, and the contingency planning comes then in the blood itself. Because when a Mercury energy, you fully imbibe with the Mercury energy, it comes on its own. You don't need to think about it. When you sit next, okay, let's see about the situation. When you sit with the Mercury prominent person and the Saturn prominent person, this person will think in such a way that he know how to communicate, how to execute this one. And the Saturn person will think like, okay, I will do it, I will do it, I will do it. He procrastinate the thing, and he have the planning. Interestingly, both the people, the Saturn is a very good worker. No one can compare against him. But the Mercury, he knows how to plan, how to execute. He's a very good strategist. And when these people are sit together, you can easily understand which energy is prominent in between these two. How you can play against the with the astrology? You check on yourself, you check with the others. But when you check with the others, don't go with the judgment, because whenever you try to see the others and you feel like you analyze the others, you study others, there is one kind of judgment, and the one kind of thing will come into you was the judgment. You would easily judge others. Don't do that. There is one I heard some years back, I heard one story. The Buddha was saying every person was born, death and born in every few milliseconds. He says in a very, very good phrase. So that's why whenever you see me as a person today, I won't be the next day. I won't be the next year itself. So like that, you try to see the person with that such a kind of a mentality. Don't judge others, but study yourself, increase your knowledge. So when you see a person in the road or in your home, understand how they are behaving. That particular point, this person is the Saturn prominent person. Okay, this particular point, this person is the Mercury prominent person. You understand only yourself, but don't judge others. That's my humble opinion. It's up to you altogether anyway. Okay, anybody was in the Mercury in the third house? No?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Hmm.
So I have Saturn and Mercury together in Scorpio, Vrishchika Rashi. And it is ninth bhava.
Okay,
So
Saturn and Mercury.
yeah. I'm mean Lagna, and so this becomes my ninth bhava. And to be very honest, my mentor has been pushing me to write paper publication, and I have absolutely not written a word, and I really don't understand what stops me from doing it. I'm just afraid of writing, I feel. So
okay, I will tell you one thing. See, because the Saturn says everything. When the Mercury was Saturn was there, definitely will be intelligent. There is no question about it, because Mercury was in the Trikona in the ninth location. Definitely will be intelligent, no doubt about it. But when the Saturn was sitting in it, that tells about your. The Saturn only delays the process. It doesn't mean you can't do it, but it delays the process. But remember one thing: when the Saturn was delaying, you have to push, remove that comfort zone, jump out of it. But once you write only one sentence, no one will stop.
Yeah,
that's a trick about the Mercury and Saturn. Whatever the combination is for you, when the Saturn was in any of the combination, particularly with the Mercury and Saturn, it will do this one. Don't worry. But the Saturn is also helps you. The Saturn behaves in two ways. The people will say Saturn is a discipline, Saturn isn't lazy. But lazy, yes, it won't allow you to work because a certain energy will pull you back. But once you started, he's a very, very disciplined person. No one will stop him. But once you started, he's very disciplined. You can't stop the writing until you finish. But you have to make that starting point that it is about your willpower. That it comes because the guru is Meena Lagna means the guru will give you the step. Don't worry, whenever you start, you are willing to start that point in time. Pray to the guru, whoever you believes in, whoever the god and goddesses you believes in. You pray for them and start the writing. But once you start writing, I will tell you, once you start writing, no one will stop.
Thank you, ma'am. Ma'am, and one more question I had. So you said willpower. Is any Bhava signifying willpower as well in the astrology?
See, the Lagna is, if you have the willpower or not, it's everything in your Lagna itself.
Okay.
But when it comes into willpower, see your Rashi also, where the moon was present. That represent your mind. So when you see combine it together, your Lagna and the mind, then you will understand your willpower. But if you want to increase your willpower, the one thing I always say is do meditation. Do meditation. But when you're doing the meditation, but there is also one more thing I learned in number of years. Initially, I always say this: do the meditation, do the meditation. At one point in time, I saw the different kind of the peoples. And one of my friend, he's not interested in any kind of the meditation or a practice, but he's very good in work. Then I understand the meditation is comes in different person in different ways. One person feel the work is the meditation. The another person thinks the music is the meditation. The another person thinks the cooking is the meditation. One of my friend was whenever she got frustrated, and she go and cook, and that food is really really delicious. And once she comes out of the cooking, she comes out of any kind of the problem. So at that point in time, that the number of the situations makes me to realize the meditation is not only you just sitting you're sitting and close your eye. The meditation comes in various forms. When I say meditation, I say in that kind of the perspective, do whichever you likes. Your subconscious likes it very well. Whether it is your work, whether it is your cooking, whatever it is, do it as you are doing as a meditation. So that
I think it is so true, because I had a friend who used to tell me whenever she is very frustrated, she will do some long, process oriented cooking, like non-veg or something. And by the end of cooking, she would be normal.
Yeah. And I heard some of the people, they go for a very long walk, very, very long walk. When they come back, they understand, okay, I find that this is my complex problem. I find a solution. But you find this is your process, a very tedious process, I would say, to find out how you can increase your willpower. But most of the time, I simply say go and do and meditate. But when I say the meditate, doesn't mean go and sit and close your eyes. Do whatever the thing which you really really favors and you like it very much, and even when you are painful days, you do it very interestingly. Some people will go and write, some people hear the music, some people sing, some people go for hiking. Whichever favors for you, do it like a meditation. Then your willpower increased no matter what. No one will stop you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So in earlier days, how I increased my willpower, that was a totally different story. For me, I care about everything. If someone unknown person was in front of me, I can't able to utter a single word. So what I understand was, okay, I understand I have a number of layers of fear. So what I did, I try to face the same kind of the situation again and again. I know I fear about talking to that person. I go and stand in front of him. Whichever the places which I really, really afraid of, I pull all my courage together and go to that place alone. Then later point in time, I traveled across various places on my own. That helps me. Whatever the practice which I did, that helps me. So that's why I say you come out of fear with your own willpower. So pull yourself together. You will come out of it definitely. This all the things which I learned from different people. It's not I learned on my own. I learned from very great peoples, very good friends. They tell me, okay, Manita, I did, I come out of this. Manita, I did this, I come out of this. So I learned from them. Most of the time, initially, I thought, okay, the meditation is the only way. But later, when we are experienced, when we heard very good news from others, my thought process also modified, I would say. You will find a way. When the thought process, when you are having kind of a thing, I want to increase my willpower, the solution will come automatically. That's what I understood. Yeah.
Yes.
But Guru being the Lagnadipati, the willpower should be good.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Guru is debilitated in Capricorn. Does that matter?
Debilitated in where?
Capricorn.
Your
11th house.
was in the Makara.
And Sun is debilitated in Tura.
Sun is debilitated in Tula. Sun is your 8th house from abroad. 11th house, Jupiter is debilitated. Okay, pray to your Guru.
No. Guru is on the other side, 180 degrees. She said Cancer, right?
No. Capricorn.
Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Jupiter. He's a debilitated Guru. Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, the 11th house is your fulfillment and your desires. So when the Guru was in the debilitated means, so don't worry about the Guru was debilitated or not, it will give you the auspicious energy. But the auspicious energy which is going into your 5th house, right? And the 5th, the
Moon is there in 5th.
3rd house. And your 6th house.
7th house.
Oh, sorry, 7th house. Yeah,
Mars
7th.
is in 7th.
Yeah. Your 3rd house, your 5th house, and your 7th house, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me how much your depleted Jupiter will do it for you. Okay. How is your communication?
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
How is your? Are you married? You have a children?
Yes, I have a son.
Okay. How is your relationship with your children?
On and off. I mean, yeah, neutral.
Neutral. Okay. How is about your relationship with your spouse?
Yeah, it's more one-sided. What do you say? I mean, I'm angry all the time. I have Mars in my 7th.
Mars in 7th. Mars in 7th. Seeing your 10th house. Seeing your Lagna. Seeing your 2nd house. Where is your moon?
Moon is in 5th. Cancer.
Okay, you follow any kind of a religious spiritual practice, like you pray to the god or follow any guru like that?
Yeah. So I pray. I fast on Tuesdays for my son. For our Kula Daivat, Yogeshwari Devi, and I am an ardent fan. I mean, follower of Ganesh, Lord Ganesh.
Think about whenever you feel like you want to increase your willpower, think about the guru. Particularly, you go and visit the places which is near to the sea. That's very good for you. But when the Mars was in the 2nd house, and I felt like the Tiruchendur is a good place for you. Because the Guru in the your Lagna itself, Amina, the places which is around the ocean will give you the different kind of the strength too. Suppose if it was not accessible, take a salt bath at least once in a while. At least dip the salt water in your feet for at least 20 to 30 minutes. That will settle down your, if you have an anger kind of an issue, that will settle down your anger a little bit. But mostly you pray to the Guru all the time. Whichever you started, whenever you feel angry, that's a one point you have to pray to the Guru. Okay, why you need to the prayer, that I will tell you. My intention when I say the pray to the Guru, pray to the God and Goddesses means you center yourself. Whenever you center yourself means the centering yourself means your cells and the nerve system is in a normal position. When you are happy, when you are angry, the cells will be, when you are happy, the cells will be blue. When you are angry, the cells will be shrink. But when you are centered yourself means it's in a normal position, it's in a relaxed position. So when you are center yourself, the cells in the nerve system will be calmed down. It's one point in time you directly connect with the cosmic. That point in time you know what is the good for you, what is the necessary for you, which is making whatever the action you make will be good to you. So that one point in time, that's the thing I ask you to center yourself. You pray to the Guru, that energy will make you to center.
Manita, even though Jupiter is debilitated, it is an Upachayasthana, right?
Is Super Chaitanya. That's why the 11th house, the most of the time when the fulfillment of the desire is in the 11th house, right? Even though that was in the Upachayasthana, the Jupiter lost its most of the auspiciousness, going to give 50% of that. That's why I ask her to check what are the three aspects was doing. It's like one was good, the other two was in a neutral position. So that's mean the Jupiter makes already taking its action. So when the depleted okay, don't over take the word like depletion, exaltation. Depleted means the energy was moving away from you. Exalted means it was increased and it's centered in your body. So depletion means it goes away. That's why I ask you to seek the energy of the Guru. When you get to seek the energy of the Guru's energy will be make you to stay centered yourself. So then that point in time when you see this is neutral, it becomes full. It becomes full. So when this three becomes full, your willpower will be increased automatically. But doesn't mean your willpower will be depends on any other action aspects in your life. It's developed on its own. But most of the time, this is my perspective. Seek the blessings from the Guru.
Ma'am, you run your own business, right?
Me?
No, Dr. Manjari Joshi.
No. I work for a cancer hospital in Pune.
Okay.
So I'm an oral pathologist, and I work for the cancer center. I mean, as a research in charge. So
Okay,
I'm into clinical research and epidemiology.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody want to say anything to Manjari from Harcha? Okay, try and see this, Manjari. This is what my understanding from your chart. Even though
Yes,
the
ma'am.
Jupiter will be there, the 50% of auspiciousness you will get from the cosmic with your whatever the activities that you are doing. See, when the depleted Guru means it will move over your energy. That's it was going to do because depletion means the Jataka was not getting the sufficient energy from the cosmic. But when
Right.
you're seeking from the cosmic, okay, this is the energy which I was depleted in my body. I need this kind of an energy in me. Then the cosmic won't give you partiality. It will definitely give you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And just on a lighter note, because you had mentioned that Rameswaram is a best place for sun, God sun, and to get the energy of sun, we will be visiting Rameswaram this December. Because you had recommended, and I kept that in mind. So this December we'll be going to visit Rameswaram temple.
That's totally awesome. Because that place was one of the Jyotirlingam. You will feel that energy itself.
Yes, ma'am.
The peoples will going into the Rameshwaram itself, different energy altogether. In southern part of India, the people will think it is a pilgrimage to go into Rameshwaram. So that's a really, really very good place. You will definitely
Dr.
enjoy.
Manjari Joshi, if you're going to Rameshwaram, you can also just visit one more place nearby. It is the oldest Shiva temple recorded in the history of humanity. It's called Uttira Kosamangai.
Okay, sir.
I-
Where is it, sir?
Yeah, I'll send you a Google map link.
Oh, sure. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Could you please share it in the
Sure.
group itself?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll do that. I'll do
Share
that.
it in the group,
Thank you.
Sharon. Yeah.
Yes. So how was your experience after you visit?
Yes, definitely. Thank you. I will.
Thank you.
Especially you're going near the ocean too.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. That precisely. My son is also debilitated, and I think all myself, my son, and my husband, we all require the blessings of Sun God. So when ma'am in her lesson on Sun spoke about Rameswaram, I immediately decided I'll be visiting that place. So this December is when we will be going.
Totally awesome. Okay, I'll start the fourth house. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, one more thing. I'm traveling on the next week. The plan was already. It was like I'm really going this time. There is a possibility if my father was not feeling well, I may cancel the plan. That point in time, the classes will be continued. Otherwise, the next week will be a vacation. Next week will be a holiday for everybody. We'll see on the. And this time I will going into a different place, which I really not expecting that place to go. I will tell you that later once I come back. So on December 15th. I will come back on Monday morning only. So that I'm not able to take that class next Sunday. We'll see you on December 15th. Suppose in case if my travel plan was going smoothly. Otherwise, we will see you next week. Is that okay?
Have a
Sure,
nice
Vanita.
Yes,
Vanita.
Thank you.
I'm in West Indies with beautiful skies, and I can see all the planets, all the grahas.
Wow.
Except Mercury, I have already cited 6 of them. So
How nice.
Okay, then we'll see you all next week or the next to next week. Okay. Bye.
Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy journey. Have a nice trip.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Happy vacation.